book review on video. This time, Box 21 by the Swedish writing team Roslund and Hellström. Two guys, let's see, Anders Roslund and Börge Hellström, who write novels together. They have a great background for doing so. One of them, I think, is a cop, or was a cop, and the other one was a former criminal who pulled himself up by the hair and started doing work on rehabilitating criminals. So they have a lot of insight. They worked with criminals. No, he's not a cop, he is a reporter and worked in covering various criminal stories and, yeah, dreadful things that happened in Sweden's capital. So they have the background to write about stuff like this. They write murder mystery, thrillers, crime novels, crime fiction. And they also have the talent because they write so well. This is the third book I've read by them, and their writing is just fantastic. And you wouldn't know that it's two people because it just flows so smoothly. They must have the best working relationship. It's fantastic. They have some it's a series. They have a red thread running through it, and that is it's the same characters, the same cops who get involved, and they are sad people, these cops. The main character, Evert Grens, he is a really sad guy. He has no life. And in this book they explore further why he has no life. And it's all sad. So don't expect to be cheered up by this. But expect to be become emotionally involved and to start thinking, because this is a book that really touches you, both heart and mind. It deals with issues that are important, that are happening right here and now in Scandinavia and all over Europe, and I'm sure in the United States too. Perhaps to a lesser extent in the details. This book is about, they always write about some more or less current hot button issue, and this is about trafficking, about young women from the Baltic being brought to the richer Scandinavian countries, in this case Sweden, and the capital, Stockholm, and being forced to work as prostitutes. There are several subplots, of course. The main plot is that of a young woman, a victim of trafficking, who is found in one of these more or less secret apartments, or I mean it's a regular apartment, but secret things go on there. It's a mini bordello. And in this brothel she's found, and she has been beaten so badly with a whip that the skin on her back is just practically gone. And the cops find out that apparently someone at the embassy, I think these girls are Lithuanians. So it's a bad affair. It's a really bad affair. She's taken to a hospital, and the cops start investigating, and they quickly realize, of course, that this is trafficking. This is a young woman, two young women actually, because there's another one in the same apartment who has not been injured. They're being kept in a locked apartment. They don't speak a word of Swedish. They don't speak English. It's obviously they're prostitutes working as forced labor. They're slaves. But you know, the cops can only do so much. The cops can't always really punish the ones who are really guilty. And that is what this book is fundamentally about. How do you punish the guilty? And how do you move from being the victim to being the angel of vengeance, as some might say, but committing crimes against others in your turn is in fact what it is. This girl, she's taken to hospital, like I said, and she's put in intensive care, but she does surprisingly well, and suddenly something happens. Suddenly, out of the blue, no one can really say how, suddenly there is a hostage situation in the hospital, in the basement. And the police are called, and they're confused. It makes no sense, but they find out that it's the girl who was so injured she couldn't even walk. Now she has a gun, she has explosives, she's holding 5 people hostage in the morgue, in the basement of this huge hospital. It's a bizarre situation. I'm not going to tell you much more about the plot because it could easily give too much away, but it's about corruption, It's about loyalties. There are some sequences from the past of these young girls, especially the main character, the one who's beaten up. They're just beautiful, and I love the writing. It just flows, and it just tugs you along. You can't stop listening. I mean, sorry, reading. You can't stop turning the page. It's the writing style is original and so engaging. Characters are great, and the moral of this story, which partly is that it's really sucks to be a victim of trafficking, and it's terrible that these things are happening, that people are being kept as sex slaves. I mean, I don't even know. For my part, that could be happening in this building where I live. I doubt it, but I don't know, because this is really happening right in front of our faces, and it's happening, and not enough is being done to stop it, and I don't know whether enough can be done. But the fundamental moral question, the dilemma in this book is, we consider the victim of a crime usually to be a good person, and the criminal, the perpetrator, to be bad. But what happens when the victim decides that enough is enough, takes matters into her, in this case, her own hands, and she becomes a criminal? She commits acts that are equally gruesome, either against her perpetrator or against others. Is she not the bad guy, and how do you punish someone who simply has been pushed to her limits? I can't answer that, but I have thought a lot about it during the reading of this book, and I think it's a wonderful book. I think it's fantastically well written. I love the characters, both the recurrent characters and the new ones. I'm gonna read everything these guys publish because they are just so good. It's been published under the same title in English, Box 21, by Roslund and Hellström. Look it up. You won't be sorry. It's the reviewer says that it's a horrendously good crime novel, and that's what it is. It is painful to read, but it's a wonderful book, and there's a twist at the end that I didn't see coming, and that just left me reeling. I mean, it's fantastic. I love it. They've done extensive research, and that really shows. You'll learn a lot about a lot of things in this book. It'll really make you think. It may change your mind about a few things. I can't really recommend this enough, not this book or the authors too. They are fantastic. So check them out. I really recommend them. Roslund and Hellström, Box 25, and also at least 3 other novels that are equally good.